Hello and welcome to Karizmisha's English YouTube channel. Today we're shifting our focus to central figure in modern geopolitics, Vladimir Putin. We'll be diving into foundations of his leadership, examining how his early career, Russia's turbulent history, and global dynamics have shaped his governing style. From the role of state media to the impact of international tensions, we're going to break down the factors that have defined his decades in power. Let's get the conversation started with our friend and first question. So here's the question to my friend. What factors in Vladimir Putin's early life and career contribute to his authoritarian leadership style?
Vladimir Putin's early life and career, its particularly background in the KGB, significantly influenced the authoritarian leadership style. His experience, its intelligence community, and student strong sense of control, discipline, and the belief of necessity of state power. Additionally, his rise in Russia's history, and the chaos and uncertainty following the certain unit of collapse likely reinforced the need for strong, centralized authority to maintain stability.
So, how did the political environment in Russia during Putin's descent to power shape his governance approach?
The political environment in Russia during Putin's sense characterized by stability, correction, and the lack of effect in the governance. The chaos in the 1990s left many Russian humans for order and security. This context allied Putin to the position of his self-stability and force, which is a leverage to consolidate power and implement the political regimes, and the government is centralizing the authoritarian, possessing the ability and maintain the control.
So, in what ways has Putin used propaganda and state media to reinforce his authoritarian rule?
It's about effectively use of propaganda and state media in the force of authoritarian rule, controlling the narrative surrounding their leadership and government actions. Take from media from the positive humanitarian side, and a strong leader he protects from Russia's interest. Additionally, dissenting voices of often marginalized, creating the environment where the opposition of the favoring. This manipulation of information helps maintain public support and suppresses criticism.
Okay, to what extent have external race influenced Putin's authoritarian tendencies?
If you want to answer this, you should add to the significantly include of authoritarian tendencies, the perception of nature expansion and sanctions, and perceived hostilities from the US and externalized to justify the oppressive measure domestically. While framing these external challenges existing for short threats to Russia, Putin has a valid public for her regimes and they send under guise and national security. This narrative reinforces the authoritarian grip on power.
Okay, but how does Putin's leadership style compare to other authoritarian globally?
Putin's leadership style shares similarities with other authoritarian leaders globally, such as Jinping, Recep and Laden. Likely leaders, it's employed on populism, nationalism, and repression to maintain control. He uses state resources to bolster his image and suppress the opposition while the opposition and resilience against external adversaries. However, this unique background's intelligence keeps him to approach the governance and let emphasize the surveillance and control.
That's true. But can they identify specific setmark to shift the work more authoritarian practices and the Putin's leadership?
Several keys even to shift this marked more authoritarian characteristics in the leadership. In 2004, the journalist and political scale highlighted that the danger faced by the center in Russia. Via an exemption by a primary in 2014, and also it's the turning point and annoying to the nationalist sentiments, whether the consolidating the power, for subsequent crackdown and opposition figures, including the Laxame, and exemplify the increasing the impression characteristics to the regime.
Okay, that's true. But how do economic factors intersect with Putin's authoritarian governance?
For answer this question, I should mention the economic factors and govern a significant way. The economic relies on the oil and gas export, provide a source of the aligned regime to maintain control, patronage, and social spending. However, economic dumping and the sanctions can threaten stability, prompting the regimes to tie to the groups and power further. By authorizing the challenges and the external threats, can justify authoritarian measure while deflecting his demonstration,
In what ways do Putin affect his decision-making and policies?
Absolutely, public position it's a crucial role in making the policies. He is a clear way to need to maintain a favorable in German populace to ensure the ability and support for regimes. Consequently, he often engage in actions like networks to action and appropriate state sanctions, military interventions, and hosting major international events. Conversely, in the decline in public support may lead him to adopt more decisive measures and reinforce loyalty.
Well, is it possible for an authoritarian to like Putin to evolve towards more democratic practices?
While it is theoretically possible for an authoritarian regime to involve more democratic practices, it is unlikely given the consolidation of power and the political countries in Russia. Historical procedures like entrenched authoritarian resistance reform, they could undermine the authority and the significant internal or external pressure force change. Putin is likely to maintain the current trajectory.
Well, what implications does Putin's authoritarian leadership have from Russia's future?
Putin's authoritarian leadership has significant implications for Russia's future. He centralized the power and the pressure merely to short-term abilities and risk long-term exhaustion from the populace. As economic challenges and public dissatisfaction grows, there could be increased pressures for change. However, the availability of the external intervention, the prospects for democratic reforms remains under his continuing rule. To wrap things up, it's clear to Putin's rulership, it's clearly its personal history and possessive vision of national security, and the pragmatic use of tools and available to him, like control over the media and economic leverage. The centralization of the power and the multifaceted phrases and framework for stability is a significant channel for Russia's long-term evolution. Whether his regime face on internal pressure or continue in the critical questions for the future. It's been a pleasure to break down this complex issue with us.
Thank you so much for those insights, and to our viewers, thanks for staying with us with this deep dive. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content on global politics and leadership on Karizmisha's English YouTube channel. Don't forget to let us know your comments, and see you on the next videos.
Goodbye.